Hey guys, welcome back to Review Lounge. This is a recap of episode 3, DTF St. Louis. Um, now this episode was kind of tame, but it still has a lot of questions. Not a lot of things. Well, some things have answered about where Floyd met the person that he kissed, but as we found out, it wasn't really nothing serious. He was really being nice, and that kind of is with Floyd's character, right? So episode 3, the investigation starts turning. Episode 3 pushes the mysterious forward. The police investigate into Floyd's death starts focus on the complicated relationship between the three main people in the story. You have Floyd, Carol, and Clark. Now, Detective Plum begins to suspect that Carol might not be telling the whole truth. Now, remember in the Jamba, she was actually there for a long time. I think she ordered like 8 Jamba juices. So right there, it tells you that she baited Clark. Basically, she was all her. It wasn't Clark. He's just a regular nice guy, but probably just bored. Now, Detective Plum begins to suspect, like I said, Carol. Now she not telling the truth. Now the story starts shifting from Clark might be the killer to maybe multiple people had motives. Now, when the motives is now, Carol does bring up the investigation. No, I'm sorry. She brings up where about life insurance. She brings up where they're having some money issues and things like that. Where we also find out Floyd was married to a fortune teller, and that's very weird. He has alimony he has to pay, credit card debt, things like that. So he's a really nice guy, but it seems like he has a lot of baggage. Now, and the episode gives more backstory on Clark and Floyd's relationship. Sorry, friendship. Now, Clark explains how their friendship developed and how they started hanging out more. The show highlights how lonely and emotionally vulnerable these characters are, which ties into the dating at DTF St. Louis. So basically, these guys feel emotionally just unbalanced. Basically, they feel lonely or they feel unfulfilled. Basically, so the show isn't just about murder; it's about middle age loneliness and people looking for connection. That's what I put down. Looking for connection. That's what I got out of this episode. Now, Carol's dark side. Now, this is what I put down. That's what I pointed out. One of the biggest moments of episode is seeing a much harsher side of Carol. Like she's very manipulative, basically, where she's like this, unloading on Clark and being emotional and telling what's going on and things like that. Now people think, did she manipulate Clark? Did she use his feelings for her? Some scenes suggest she knows exactly how to push Clark emotionally, being that emotional and vulnerable. And then also she's putting up, I think she's putting up front because as you watch this episode, Clark has some weird, sexual things he likes to do. In the episode, he's a robot and he has a scene he's on his back with his knees, legs up, and I forgot what they call that, but that was weird. Now the affair gets kind of complicated. Now the affair between Carol and Clark gets deeper and stranger. They show explores their sexual dynamic and how their relationship is built on fantasy. So he has a lot of fantasies, like I said, with the robot and the situation, and like the robot and that it's one scene like I need batteries, I need to charge, and like she's putting up with it. Now I really can't tell if she's into it or not into it. She's really it's really good acting because you would think that she's not into it, but also you keep watching. It's like she is into it or she's fulfilling. It's a lot going on. Now, there's some clues about the murder. Now, things that stand out. This is what I put down: suspicious conversations about life insurance, medication and prescriptions connected to Floyd, more questions about who benefited from Floyd's death. Because remember now, she was talking about, Floyd, he has, with his downstairs, he had an issue. And every time Clark tries to find out what happened to Floyd's, downstairs situation, it's like something always comes up or like people don't want to talk about it. Like Clark asks Carol, what happened? And she like goes like, oh man, that day. He's like, what happened? She's like, I just can't talk about it. that's that's the thing that's kind of small in the show, but they never will talk about it. They always bring it up, but they never tell you what's going on. That's just very, very, very strange. Now, basically, like, we have the themes of loneliness, desire and obsession, manipulation in relationships, and how small lies turn to bigger consequences. Because Clark was talking to the investigators. Then when they kept talking about the key, he's like, I want to speak to a lawyer. So what's up with that key? What's going on? So basically, episode 3 really starts to crack open the mystery. We see deeper into Clark and Floyd's friendship. Carol starts looking way more suspicious, and the investigations begin pointing in multiple directions. Now, at this point, it feels like anyone in this love triangle could be hiding something. That's very, very strange, because as you keep watching it, you would suspect Clark, but Carol was pushing away. We saw in last week's episode, because she loves her husband. But also in this episode, Clark says he loves Floyd. He loves Floyd more than he loves, what's happening with him and Carol, or him and Carol, the situation he loves. And the detective's like, you love, sexually? He's like, no, he sees it's something different. Like, Floyd is a very nice guy. So there's one scene in the show where Floyd actually takes his stepson to the park, and he talks to him. He shows this, I don't know what you call it, but he's on people on the balance beams in gymnastics. He did that with them, and he's like, that's so cool. So that shows you that Floyd has a good heart. He's really a nice guy, and him and his stepson actually gets closer with this. They all start talking. The boy starts opening up to Floyd even more. So that's what I got out of this. Now, I do have some theories. I think a lot of people are talking about this as well. Now, one theory is people saying Carol planned the whole thing. She appears manipulative and controlling with Clark. She may have financial motivation because she has credit card debt. Floyd has alimony. She's working a second job as an umpire. That's still weird. Now it's people saying Clark did it. Now, Clark clearly developed strong emotional feelings for Carol, but we might put that to the side, because he said he loved Floyd more than he loved Carol. Now, Carol manipulated Clark into doing it. That's a possibility. Floyd's death was planned for insurance money. That's kind of maybe too obvious, in my opinion, that they're leaning into that, because that's kind of like that's a trope, of a spouse dying and you're going to collect the insurance and so on. So I really don't think it's that. Some people might think Floyd's death was an accident, where Floyd died during a confrontation. Someone panicked and covered it up, because there's one scene in there when Floyd he's at the pool place and he's doing push-ups. Then it's like loud boom, 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 banging on the door. I really don't think that's might be Clark doing that, because he's a very timid guy. That's like a heavy-handed, like, banging on the door. Now, also, someone else did it. Someone Floyd has a problem with. Someone from the dating scene, because of the app, or a completely unexpected character. Because this is only episode 3, so we still have a lot more going on in this. But now I got some very crazy theories I was thinking about. Floyd faked his own death. Okay, some details about death feels too convenient. The show focused heavily on Carol and Clark's, which could be a misdirection. Could be misdirecting us, because Floyd may not be dead, because we see Floyd's body. Well, I mean, they say that he's dead, things like that, but he could be faking it. That's a possibility. Floyd might be wanting to escape his life, debt, or relationship. That's a possibility. I mean, that could. Or Carol could be a serial manipulator, because she seems too calm and calculated. She's very calm about the death. Have you noticed she's not like really so sad? She's crying or anything like that. She's very calm. She's not totally upset. There's in the end of the scene episode, she goes talk to her son, and her son's like, "What are we gonna do now, money wise?" She's like, she said it so calmly and so just like a bad guy would say. She was like, I will find a way. Now that her behavior feels like someone who's done this kind of manipulation before. It seems like she's done this before, because she's very, just like I said before, calm about it. She's not crying. She's not overly emotional or anything like that. Because one scene in the other episode, we see her at the rave, right? And she's crying. I love him. Oh my gosh, she's trying. All that. You get to the dance classes. Okay, he passed away. Where was that emotion at? When he died, where the emotion where he was, at the concert, then when he dies, where's that emotion? That emotion is totally gone. What's going on? How are you going to be from one point where you're just so, oh, I love this man, he's trying, to when you find out he's dead, you have no emotion, no tears, no crying, or anything. That's crazy. Like Clark, they also said, hey, that's one of them. I have another one where, guys, I'm sorry if I'm over the place, but it's got me thinking. Clark was set up. Another wild theory is that Clark is actually innocent in being framed. Carol needs a fall guy. Clark's emotional attachment makes him easy to blame, and the evidence might slowly start pointing towards him on purpose. It's very easy because they always hang out. So that's another one. Now, another thing is the dating app is connected to the crime. A theory now, I've seen this. Now I also think this as well, that the DTF app itself play a bigger role. Someone on the app targeted Floyd. The app might have connected multiple people involved in the crime, or someone may have used the app to manipulate the situation. So it's more to this because it could be manipulation, but also because you can tell Floyd's kind of lonely because episode 1, I think, where he doesn't like when Carol wears the Empire outfit. He doesn't like it. And another scene, she said that it has to be very perfect for him to get it up. But also, she's manipulating Clark, where she's telling him, don't really say that to him. He can't find out because that's going to make him even more depressed, right? So that's more manipulation right there. The murder could be tied to someone Floyd met through the app that we haven't seen, right? So it could be more to this that we haven't seen in the app. And you look more at Carol, you're like, it's nice. It's very suspicious. Like she just so calm. Now even my picture in my background right there, you can see like how she is just sitting there all just like that. She just quiet. And it really kind of points to her. So it's so misdirection. Look, I really don't think Clark did it. I don't know if Floyd would. I don't think Floyd would fake his death, and that's one of the theories. I don't think Floyd would do that. He's in debt a lot, but he's a hard worker. He's really trying. He tries so much. It's so much about this that there's so many questions, and it's so intriguing about this because it's so different. It's a dark. It's like where point is serious, like True Detective, but it has that dark comedy in it where you have this weird situation. It's like what I was telling you about as the breakfast scene where he met that person where he really thought it was a woman because in one scene he says, "Where is it? I need to get my spectacles." He really couldn't tell. But in the episodes, I don't think we ever saw Floyd wear glasses. So the thing is, we can look at it. We can look at that person and tell him that's a guy in drag. He's wearing a wig and everything. And so my thing is, how can Floyd not tell that wasn't a woman? He showed the phone to a dude. He's like, he's like, I forgot what the person said, but then they like, no, that looks like a dude. So how can Floyd not can tell that that's a guy? So does Floyd have bad eyesight? Does he wear contacts? I can't remember if he wore glasses. I think he wore glasses. Leave a comment below, guys. I can't remember, but does he have really bad eyesight? That's another thing. Because he don't wear glasses when he's doing his sign language, but could he be wearing contacts? Things like that. It just makes me wonder. I really don't know yet because I feel like Carol, is that too obvious for Carol to be it, or it can't be too obvious for Clark because I wouldn't think Clark did it, and Floyd wouldn't fake his death. It has to be something more to this. We need to see Carol's past because I feel like she has so much hiding, just like when she went to Jamba Juice and just waited for them for so long. She kept asking the server, "Is it free yet? Is it free yet? Is it free yet? Is it free yet?" Was there promotion going on? That's it has me just wondering like, why would she think it's free? Did I miss something? I just finished watching the Oscars, so I was watching so much shows. Um, it's it's just I like this show because this show makes you think. It makes you really, really, really want to pay attention to each and every little thing, everything that they're saying, that they're talking about. It makes you want to really think and see if you can figure this out. It's almost like Clue, because I feel like they're leaving a lot of things in there for you to maybe think about and maybe piece together. I think I think that's what they're trying to do. It's really making you think, like, all right, did this. It actually make you it's actually make me write everything down. It's make me to set this up. It's make me have theories and everything. This show really got me invested already. I can't wait for the next episode. So, all right, guys. Sorry, I want you to know what you think. Do you think Carol planned everything? Clark snapped, or is there some crazy twist coming where Floyd isn't even dead? Drop your theories in the comments because this show feels like it's setting up something big. Honestly, guys, this feels like it's setting up something big at the end. Like I said, leave the comments below. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe, guys. But until episode 4, I talk to you later, guys. Peace.